it's Paige Evans, and I have a new process video to share with you today. This is a layout turned mini album using the brand new Noteworthy collection by Ellie's Studio. So I started with Noteworthy paper number 5, and I went through the folder on my computer with all of our European adventure photos, and I found ones that coordinated with the colors that are in these journaling spots. And then I printed the photos slightly smaller than 2 inches square on my home computer printer, and then trimmed them out to leave a white border. That's my favorite look, is leaving a white border around my photos. And then I placed them color on color in their matching squares, or I guess rectangles, and then I trimmed off the tab at the bottom. So my original idea was to keep this as a layout, but then as I was working on it, it was very busy, which I didn't mind, but then I thought these are already great sizes and separate pages for creating a mini album, so that's what it turned into. So I wanted to find some matching embellishments, so I went through the die cut pack and started placing everything color on color. So all the red embellishments are on the red square, all the pink are on the pink square, and sorry I keep saying square, they're rectangles. There's a few different shades of blues, so I just put them on the right color, and then I cut these tags into their separate pieces. There's the 6x6 papers, and I needed a few more colors of some things, like this light green and the orange. I needed just a few more bits of color on those particular rectangles. There, I said rectangles. And yeah, I just went through, and then I decided to add even more color. I would mat a few of the photos on coordinating colors of patterned paper, so I just loosely trimmed it out and then tore off the bottom edge to create more texture. I didn't add a pattern paper underneath every single photo, but quite a few of them, because might as well. I love pattern paper. I think that's my favorite scrapbooking supply. So the more pattern papers I can include, the better. But again, there's a lot of color going on already, so I didn't need pattern paper underneath every single photo. I really love this floral green paper. That was perfect for the Quakenhof Tulip Festival photo. And I really love the smaller scale patterns that come on 6x6 papers. There are puffy stickers and epoxy circles also in the Noteworthy collection, and since those are sticky, they were going to come last. And so then I went through rectangle by rectangle. I don't know why I started with this royal blue one, but gotta start somewhere, so I don't know, my eyes must have just landed on this one first. And I tried to figure out a more permanent placement, a more exact placement for all of the photos and embellishments. And I decided I wanted to have a sentiment at the top of every rectangle. Luckily, there are coordinating sentiments in all the colors throughout the collection, so that was pretty easy to do. And here I decided to add another pattern paper on this gray rectangle. And yeah, just going rectangle by rectangle. I didn't adhere everything down yet because I just wanted to get a general placement, but then when I did adhere things down, I used a lot of dimensional adhesive because I like adding dimension. So here's where I'm pulling in the epoxy circles and puffy stickers, the finishing touch on each rectangle, creating layers with the tags and the journaling spots, and tried to keep everything either at the top or bottom so there would be room to write the date and location like it says on the printed journaling cards. So I went through my pen stash and I found colors that matched all of the rectangles, and I did a test on one of the cards from Noteworthy to make sure it was in fact the right color, because sometimes you can never tell with the color of the pen caps. It could be lighter or darker, so I just wanted to make sure I had the right color. And then I went through and I wrote down the dates and locations for all of these photos. I think I've had some of these pens in my stash for over 15 years. since I got them when I very first started scrapbooking when I was 16, and I'm turning 33 this year, so they're at least 16 years old. I got them at my very first job. Crazy that they've lasted this long. Now I'm going to get my Missy Whitten on and tangle up some threads for every single rectangle and put it behind the photos as another layer. And this creates extra texture, extra dimension, again, another layer of interest. I just like having the threads sticking out. So I did that with every rectangle, and here is where I decided to turn it into a mini album. Although, I mean, I love how this looks as a layout, so I could potentially just glue them all back onto a piece of white cardstock, but mini albums are really fun. So I thought about trimming them off with a paper trimmer, but then I don't know, I just decided to use scissors instead. So I'm just cutting up all of the rectangles into their individual pages, and then I'm going to measure with a ruler the halfway point between the top of this first tag. So it's 1.5 inches because it's a 3x4 inch card. And then I'll use a hole punch and punch a hole in the top of each card to become a tag. So it's going to be a mini album with a binder ring holding everything together at the top. So now I'm sliding everything onto the binder ring. I think I just got this from Amazon. It's a 1-inch binder ring, easy peasy. And then I'm going to create the cover. This is a journaling card also from the Noteworthy collection, and I'm trimming it to 3x4 inches so it'll fit perfectly right on top. And then from the puffy stickers, I'm going to grab these moments letters because these are random moments from our adventures traveling around Europe. There's really no rhyme or reason except for the fact that I wanted them to be colorful and to match the colors on this pattern paper. And then here you'll just see me working on the cover. I decided to replace the O in moments with Noteworthy, and I think that perfectly sums up what this mini album is about, noteworthy moments. And I wanted to center everything, so I just shifted the letters over a little bit. And then I ran this card through my sewing machine to attach these letters and that Noteworthy epoxy circle in place permanently. Oh, I'm punching the hole first so that it becomes a tag. As I was running this through my machine, I thought it broke when it was going through the epoxy circle, but luckily it didn't. So that just shows you that the machine can stitch through pretty much everything. So now I just want to do a flip through so that you can see the finished pages. So here's the red page from Genova, Italy. Here's the Mercedes-Benz Museum in Stuttgart, Germany. The Blue Grotto in Malta. In a bull ring in Ronda, Spain. 2 pictures of Mykonos, Greece in a row. Love the flowers and the teal. Here's from Gibraltar, UK in southern Spain. Bucharest, Romania. Glencoe, Scotland. Love how bright green everything is. Edinburgh, Scotland. Keukenhof Festival, Tulip Festival in Holland. And the Blue Lagoon in Iceland. So I hope you are inspired to grab the Noteworthy collection by Ellie Studio and create a mini album or even a layout using this fun and colorful line. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you again soon.